Welcome to Paradwys Diaries, where we are going to be continuing and finishing our mini-series on keeping certain animals, with today's episode focusing on keeping bees. In November 2017, we moved to the beautiful Ynys Môn, the island of Anglesey in northwest Wales, to begin the adventure of developing a 12-acre smallholding and planting a church, all while learning to be parents for the first time. Moving to a tiny rural village called Paradwys, which is Welsh for paradise, our pioneering journey has seen us venture way out of our comfort zone, trying new things, succeeding at some and facing challenges in others. This is our way to share our journey, encourage you with yours, and of course share plenty of inspiring scenery and cute shots of animals and our young family. We are the Radbourne family, and this is Paradwys Diaries. So welcome to Paradwys Diaries today. It is great for you to join us as we explore the world of bees. Now, I'll be honest, I've not been into our beehives for about a year now, since I reacted quite badly with my hand swelling up to be like a massive glove last time I was in there. So this is more John's thing. So John is going to take us a little tour around the bees. I'm going to put my bee suit on again for the first time in a long time. And yeah, wish me luck this time.
Okay, Alan, what do you want me to say?
John's going to take us into the bees today to show us around, explain a little bit about why keep bees. So first of all, John, why on earth do we keep bees?
Well, we keep bees, Alan, for the honey, surprisingly enough.
The honey?
But also as well, around the country there's a shortage of bees. There's been under threat a lot with Varroa, and also our wonderful orchard and vegetables. They benefit a lot from all the work that the bees do.
John, what are you doing?
Well, what I'm about to do is to set up the smoker. We have these just to keep the bees happy, or at least not stinging as much anyway. And I must admit, I'm viewing this with great trepidation, knowing, Kerry, that you might well be watching this. And as my mentor, if I make any mistakes, I do apologise.
So that's through the Anglesey Beekeeper Association. We've got a mentor that kind of helps us. But John's turned into a bit of a pro, I've got to say. So what's the point of the smoke? What does that do?
Well, what the smoke does is, in nature, if they sense there's a fire, the bees that is, and they sense a smoke, then what the bees do, they gorge on the honey. And if they do that, then that just makes them more manageable as they... It's a bit like ourselves after we've had a big heavy meal. We're less likely to be jumping about, and that's really what the smoke's about.
Okay, so I'd better get my bee suit on. As I've said, it's been a little while. Rachel's just told me that she thinks it's actually 2 years since I've been in the bees. So here we go. I'm a little bit nervous, I'll be honest. I'm a bit nervous. John's laughing. Right, so beekeepers, one of the strange things about them is that they dress up in the summer rather than dress down. Now this is just to act as a protective layer. I don't know, John, do you still dress up?
I still dress up, yeah.
He still dresses up in a couple of extra layers, just so that if the bees do land on you, there's a little bit further for them to get through. So I'm about to put this on. I am still going to go in shorts, which is probably a rookie mistake, but we'll give it a go. So onesie, sorry, Rachel's recording this. She keeps on saying to me, Alan, it's gone off. It's gone off. It's alright. So, the posh thing that is happening today is, I'll explain more next week, but we now have a GoPro and a microphone that we're recording on. Check that out. Okay. Rachel's reusable nappies. We'll do more on them later, but she'll like that shot. So here we are, into the bees we go. There's a few different types of hive here, John. What's going on here?
Well, this is the mother hive. We started off overwintering this one, and this basically is the starter for all the rest of them. What my priority has been this season has been to try and get as many extra hives as I can, during the spring and the summer. So from this hive we've managed to get five splits, and what we've got now are 3 hives in different stages of growth, and then at this end something called a nuke, which is quite a recent split. So that's, if you like, a baby hive at the moment, just beginning to grow. So this is something called a crown board on top. This is still something called foundation, so they've not begun to start working this yet. Well, they're nice calm bees, these, as they call it. The foundation. And we can see here, this is nectar going in there. And some of it you'll see is darker, and that's the pollen they're bringing in as well. This is something called brace comb, where they try and attach the frames to the others. And that, just move the bees away, that's something called a play cup. So if needed, the bees could just make themselves a new queen there. I'll just take that bit of brace comb off. This is what's called a honey super.
So this is where the money's at.
This is what it's all about.
This is what it's all about for us.
You can see underneath there, and that green plastic there, sometimes a metal. In this case it's green. This is what's called a queen excluder, so it just keeps the queen underneath and laying her eggs in these 2 other boxes.
And then that's where the honey is at the top, that we will take off at the end of the season. Or, well, we've had a little bit of honey already, haven't we, this year?
We have. We've had a spring flow already. I've been eating that so far. Have a look at the bees, and what we find out usually at the edges here, this is where they start putting the nectar. And you can see there, they've got the heads in it, they're having a quick drink. Still plenty of scope for them to fill that yet. And you can just see the white there. That's where they're starting to cap it. And that underneath there is got a low enough moisture level to be honey. And the dark there is the pollen again. Nice and calm bees, these. So going to the next one, which I suspect is more honey. Yeah, there's also a bit of brood in there as well, just in the bottom. Some eggs and larvae. The queen's been here recently, because some of these are only a day old. So I don't know if you can see in the bottom, it's often difficult to see. There's little white grains of rice, much smaller than rice, but they're the eggs of the bees, which only the queen lays.
So John, a couple of fun facts. How many bees tend to be in each hive?
Oh gosh.
How many are there? Have you stood and counted them? I
have never done that, and I must admit I don't intend doing.
Fully functioning.
So this round the edge here, this is the honey. You can see that as paler. And the darker, that's what's called brood. So you can see some, it's got wax over the top. That's basically waiting to hatch out and become all these, add to this workers that are working away. And in these what look like empty ones, there's actually, you can see there, quite a mature larva, which eventually that'll be capped. There at the bottom, you can see the larva there, pupa. That's what's called a drone. That'll be a male, I'm sure, at the bottom there. This is the baby.
This is the nuke, the baby that's being...
I'm going to be careful on here. I don't want to lose any bees on this one, because there's not many of them. God, there she is. There's the queen. You see her?
There's
the
queen
blue mark on her.
With the blue mark on. So why's the queen got a mark on her, John?
Well, so we can see her quickly. You'll see that she's a lot bigger in her thorax than the rest of the bees, but even so, when they're in a big mass like that, she can easily get lost in the crowd.
And each colour represents a different year, is that right?
That's right, yeah. So she's a young one, she's this year queen.
So blue for 2020, so that is an international standard, or at least the British standard, where a certain colour, so you could go into any hive across the UK and find the queen and know how old she is by the colour of mark on her.
This is called a feeder. That's where you put the feed.
What do you mean feed?
So by feed, it's just sugar solution.
Just sugar
Yeah,
and water?
just sugar. It's 1 part sugar to 1 part water at this time of year.
And so a small
the
hive
energy
like
to
this,
build
you
up.
might feed a bit more often. Do you have to feed the others when they're
Well,
fully grown?
I won't be feeding these at all because otherwise all the honey will be Tate and Lyle sugar. But when it comes to autumn, to take the honey off them, they will need some supplies, and if they haven't got enough honey left themselves to keep them over the winter, then you need to provide with them some food themselves with the sugar solution.
So there we go. There's the whistle-stop tour of the bees. Some really interesting insights into why keeping bees, how to do it, what sort of things you've got to think of. Hopefully it's give you a little bit of an insight into what it's like to kind of be in and around the hive as well. I've got to say they were pretty calm then. I didn't expect them to be as calm as that. Yeah, not from what I remember anyway, but I suppose I wasn't the one digging around and having them attack me. Well, thank you very much, John. That was definitely informative and yeah, not so bad as I thought it would be.
No, not at all. They're friendly girls.
So what would you say then? If people are thinking maybe we could get bees, what would your one big piece of advice be?
Join a local beekeepers association. Get stung. Make sure you don't react very badly to them because you will get stung as you go through beekeeping, and then enjoy it.
Okay, so there we go. The bees were pretty tame, really. I'm tempted to get back in there more often now. Who knows, but John is doing an excellent job with those guys. So we've gone from 1 hive to now having nearly 4 hives ready, which means loads of honey. Probably not much this year, but next year we'll be swimming in it. It'll be amazing. But later in the year, when we do harvest the honey, we will show you a little bit about what that is like and what we need to do for that. You all right, Caleb?
Yeah, some ants there.
There's some ants there. Yeah, there are. So that brings a close our mini-series on keeping certain animals on a small holding. We've had pigs, ducks and chickens, sheep, and now bees. And who knows, maybe one day in the future we'll be able to do some goats or cows or a donkey, but I'm still working on Rach for those, so keep that in mind. But thanks for watching today. Do subscribe and like and share these videos. We are really enjoying making them. It is fantastic. And I hope that you are enjoying following along too. So yeah, thanks for watching and we will see you next time. So there we go. Oh, one's coming after me. It knows! It knows! Run! Sorry, I left Caleb. Take him. He's sweeter and younger than I am. No, right. So that is absolutely fantastic. We will... it's there! It's there! Oh, there's 2 of them! Yeah, well, they're coming after me, so when I'm taking them away from Caleb, I'm sacrificing myself. I've got my suit on. Yeah, what a wuss I am. I've got the suit on, Caleb's saying, and I'm still running away. We will do an update on how things are going here in the middle of summer at Paradwys. Honestly, never work with kids or animals, and that's what we're doing both. Madness, isn't it? Hey Rach, I just said at the end then that maybe one day in the future in our mini-series we'll be able to do like goats and cows and donkeys. Is that alright?
No. No goats. No donkeys.
Aww.
No cows.
Caleb, would you like a donkey? Yeah.
No, you see, he says no.
Oh dear.